all who contributed to the successful completion of the training and argued that they would deliver as expected of them. Samuel Ba, GRTS.
EcoBank has entered into a new partnership with the Association of Non-Governmental Organizations, Tango. The development between Tango and the 27-year-old Pan-African financial institution is a mutually beneficial alliance anchored on the two institutions' quest to invest in the country's development sector. Babakar Kamara has more.
They are credited for their Pan-Africanism with distinguished services to not only their customers, but a new approach seeking for partnership with the NGO community.
EcoBank Gambia recognized the contribution of the NGOs, of the international organization and the development partners in the socio-economic development of the Gambia. This is also in line with the EcoBank Group mission and vision to build a world-class Pan-African bank and to contribute to the economic and financial integration and the development of the African continent.
We want to once again express our appreciation to EcoBank for donating $25,000. It was the only bank that responded to our appeal for funding during the NGO week. And we once again want to express our sincere thanks and appreciation.
They stormed the banking industry in 1985 with a current staff portfolio of 11,000 personnel, operating in 32 countries in Africa with 750 branches.
As the bank of the NGOs and the international organization in the Gambia calls upon all of you, irrespective of size, to come together in this forum to forge a strong, mutually beneficial partnership. Let me not abstain to say that as a Pan-African bank, we are your natural partners, as we can follow your activities within 32 countries across the continent, using 3 official languages, using more than 21 currencies. Indeed, EcoBank is present in more countries in Africa than any other bank in the world.
We need funding. We need funding to support these various activities. And over the years, we have been calling on the private sector to support Tango. We sincerely and truly appreciate this cocktail organized by EcoBank, which is all aimed at building and strengthening partnerships, which is a key and a very important element in the development world today.
With a variety of customer-friendly services in addition to its new partnership with Tango, EcoBank has renewed its commitment to not only serving its 11 million customer base in Africa, but reinforce the development of non-governmental organizations. Babakar Kamara, GRTS.
Guinean chorus star Sekou Bambino has arrived in Banjul as a special guest of His Excellency the President ahead of the July 22nd scholarship pageant. Bambino, who is now a popular voice in the Gambia, is set to add flavor to the grand beauty showpiece slated for today, 15 September 2012. Sekou Bambino was received upon arrival at the airport by organizers of the event alongside ministers of tourism and culture as well as works and infrastructure, Batumas Jubnjai and Francis Litimboch respectively. The star musician thanked President Jammeh for inviting him and promised the organizers of a memorable performance. You can monitor GRTS Radio live on our website at www.grts.gm. That takes us to our first break. We'll be right back.
Buddies Night Out, the show for you and your friends to win fabulous prizes. But you win only if you answer questions we ask you correctly. To be part of the show, you should know the numbers by now. Type BUDDIES, Buddies, to your favorite network, AfriCell 2020-200, QCell 30-300, Chromium 60-600, and Gamcell on 999-0909. And we will call you back. Make sure you have 4 friends ready to participate. Talk to you soon.
Welcome back. Tension has risen in the Muslim world following riots in Egypt and Libya. The wave of anti-American protests, which has spilled over to other countries including Yemen and Tunisia, is triggered by the release of a film considered insulting to Islam. As we hear in the CFI report, the protests are raising fear for the safety of Americans in various parts of the world.
Following rioting in Libya and Egypt, anti-American protest that is said to be linked to the film insulting Islam is spreading. Though the U.S. government has disavowed any participation in the film, made by extremist Egyptian Copt Christians and right-wing American Christian groups in California, the violence has spread to Yemen. On Thursday, angry young men succeeded in penetrating the U.S. embassy in Sana'a before police pushed them out. They were running clashes the entire day. At least 4 people were killed. On Friday, the day of prayer, security measures were stepped up throughout the Arab Muslim world. Protests and clashes near the U.S. Embassy in Cairo, Egypt, pitted security forces against demonstrators from different sectors of society. Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi condemned the insults to Islam and the violence against the U.S. Embassy, but did not directly address the Egyptian people. The Muslim Brotherhood Party has reportedly stopped calling for protests. There were also angry protests in Iraq, Kuwait, and here in Lebanon, where some 200 people burned down a fast food stand and 1 person died in the northern city of Tripoli. You Americans are a superpower. You Americans have the largest army in the world. You Americans, you control the world. But you are not bigger than God. And sooner or later, God will have his revenge. In the Palestinian territory of Gaza, controlled by the Islamic Hamas Party, thousands of people demonstrated to calls of death to America, death to Israel. Fears of rioting and violence were also taken seriously in Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, and in Indonesia, with the largest Muslim population in the world. Access to the film on the internet has been blocked. Indonesian demonstrators.
Opposition parties in Gabon are clamoring for a national conference for the public to express themselves. President Ali Bongo's refusal to host the conference has divided opinion in the country. We have details in this report, which also looks at the economic situation and the huge rate of employment in that country.
A national conference be organized in Gabon or not? 20 years after the conference of 1990 that led to a multi-party system, the opposition wants a new conference. But is it a disguised constitutional coup d'etat, or is there a real need for across-the-board dialogue? After President Ali Bongo refused, the Gabonese people are divided.
A national conference has nothing to do with a constitutional or electoral coup d'etat. It would allow the Gabonese to express themselves, to say certain things.
Things are not good in Gabon. We should be clear about this.
We have had enough forums, we have had enough conferences. Now it is time to go back to work.
There has been a lot of politics, but not enough development.
The question is whether Gabon is going through a political crisis. It is the question of employment that has the Gabonese most worried, as they face problems in daily life and they face the high cost of living.
Human Rights Watch has said that the M23 rebels in DR Congo are guilty of human rights abuse. The human rights organization has found out that between July and August, horrible crimes were committed by the rebels in the North Kivu region. Hundreds of women and girls were raped in addition to the execution of government soldiers. We have details in this report.
Rebels operating in the east of DR Congo are guilty of widespread war crimes. These are the conclusions of a Human Rights Watch report. M23 rebels are mutineering soldiers from the Congolese army.
Human Rights Watch found that between July and August, horrible crimes were committed by the rebels in North Kivu. Hundreds of women and small children were raped. Young men were abducted to fight with them, and some were executed when they tried to escape. M23 is terrorizing the region it controls.
The United Nations confirms the accusations. M23 rebels are backed by Rwandan army officers. Kigali is accused of sending weapons and men from Rwanda to neighboring DR Congo. Rwanda denies the accusations. Human Rights Watch activists should stick to writing books or film scripts. The reports they make simply confuse people who don't know the truth. These reports give us no concern, they have no worth. The NGO maintains its conclusions.
We interviewed 190 victims, eyewitnesses, and people close to the victims.